So, today I'm doing an Elden Ring tier list, because I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring lately, and I've beat most of the bosses, I think. Some of them I haven't beat, so I put a haven't fought tier. This tier list is just based on how much I like the bosses, not on how difficult they are. I'll probably do that at a later time, but this one's based on how much I like the boss, and whether or not I thought the boss was actually, like, annoying, or if it was, like, a fun fight. Alright, first one is Elden, Thief of Fire. This one, I like most of the Everjail boss fights, but this one I'm gonna have to put in a C. This one was kind of forgettable, and I don't really like the, like, more PvP look, like, sort of boss fights. Some of them are okay, but I don't really like the normal enemy-sized ones some of the time, specifically like that one. Especially the spellcasting ones. And it's also just kind of forgettable for me. Not my favorite fight in the game. Not the worst one, but not my favorite one. Middle of the road. Alabaster Lord, this one I haven't fought. This one I also haven't fought. Ancestor Spirit, yes, I have fought this one. This one I give an A. The music and the scenery in it is great. And the boss fight itself isn't too bad. I like the boss fight. But specifically the music and scenery for this one is what makes it one of my favorite in the game. Ancient Dragon Landsax. Have I fought that one? Is he the one that flies down when you first get into Altus Plateau? Like, you go through the area with all the, like, tipped over carts and stuff. Not carts, I can't think of what they're called right now. Isn't he the one that flies down after you get through that field? Right before the first Site of Grace? Or right before the second one? Right before the first one after that field? And then you get him down to a certain amount of health and he flies away. This one I'll give a C. Firstly, dragon bosses aren't my favorite. Other than the one in the lake, because the Agheel Lake dragon, that one's cool because of the way he flies down, like you're just going through the lake normally and then he flies down on top of you. That's cool, but I don't like most of the dragon bosses, and the fact that you can fight this, but most people don't know on their first playthrough that it flies away when you get down to a certain amount of health. So it's just like you spend the time fighting it for nothing. Not really a great boss fight for me. Ancient Hero of Zamor, I haven't fought that one. Ooh, Astel Natural Born of the Void. S. One of my favorite bosses in the game. The look of the boss and the look of the arena is so good, and I love the look of the boss's attacks are great, and I also really love the actual boss fight. Probably top 10 bosses in the game for me. Astel Stars of Darkness, I haven't fought this one. I've only fought the Natural Born of the Void. Battle Mage, I haven't fought that. I swear I've fought most of the bosses in the game, but lots of these beginning ones in the beginning of the tier list aren't the ones I've fought. Beastman and Faramazala, C. He's just there to be like one of the first bosses you encounter in the overworld area in Limgrave. He's nothing that special, probably just to teach players who are new to the game, like, how the boss fights go. It's okay, but I kinda got old of him after Crumbling Faramazula, which has a bunch of those as common enemies. Bellbearing Hunter, I don't remember that one. I know that boss, but I don't remember how the fight is, and I don't think I've fought it. Blackblade Kindred, I have fought. D. It's just, you go through a whole dungeon for it, and it's kind of easy. Not really worth fighting, in my opinion. Black Knife Assassin, haven't fought. Wait. Is the Black Knife Assassin. I'm just gonna put it, I haven't fought. There might be another boss called that, but I think Black Knife Assassin might be the one that looks like Blythe. The one that you fight down near Astel for Ranny's quest. Ronnie, whatever. Blenheim Knight Darrell, I like most of the Everjail bosses, and in my opinion, this is one of the better ones. Plus, the weapon you get out of it is great. And I just love how quick the fight is, like how fast-paced its attacks are. It's a cool fight. Bulls Carrion Knight. See. He's okay, but he's just another basic troll enemy, but this time with a sort of cool-looking sword. Not that hard. What was this one? Oh, Borealis the Freezing Fog. Haven't fought this one. I've come across him in I've come across him a bunch of times, but I haven't fought him yet. I've come across him through the in the what was it? The area before the Forge of the Giants. I completely forgot what the area is called. I've played through the game so much. I have come across this guy so much, but I've never bothered to fight him because not really a point. I don't really like dragon bosses. He would probably be lower half of the tier list if I had fought him. Dragon bosses aren't my thing. They're cool, but they're just so overused, and they only have a few basic moves they do that aren't that hard to fight. Cemetery Shade. I have fought this one. See. Most dungeon bosses for me will go in C. Clean Rock Knight. I haven't fought that one. Commander Neil. I see a lot of hate for this boss because he summons, but for me, he wasn't the most annoying boss in the game. Think I'm gonna put him in B. I like the boss, and I like the area you fight him in. Commander O'Neill, I haven't fought him. He's the stronger version of him in Caelid. Which is weird, because there's like a stronger version of him. I'm pretty sure Commander O'Neill is stronger. It's weird that there's a stronger version of Commander Neil in Caelid, which is an earlier area. Most people go there earlier, including me. I went there earlier. And I'm pretty sure most people go there earlier. Unless I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure most people will go there before the giant area. Crucible Knight and Crucible Knight. I've fought Crucible Knights, but I haven't fought the duo. It just seems like it's a not fun fight. Crucible Knight Siluria? I haven't fought. Crucible Knight. See, it's not. It's just he spams attacks so much, and if you don't have a shield, he's a pretty hard boss. And that tail he gets into second phase is not my favorite part of the fight. Crystalians, they're okay. Most dungeon bosses just go and C for me. Death Right Bird, I haven't fought that one. I have fought Deathbird. Very creepy looking boss. B, just because of the look of the boss. No. C, the gameplay of it isn't the best. Haven't fought that. I swear I have fought most of the bosses. There's still so many bosses to go. I have fought most of them. Demi-Human Chiefs. C. Come on, there's so many mid-tier bosses for me, at least in my opinion. At this point, up to this point in the tier list, there's so many mid-tier bosses other than like these ones, and then this one's low tier. Demi-Human Queen. I haven't fought the normal Demi-Human Queen, but I have fought one of them, the one in Mount Gelmir. That boss. F. I give it an F, but only because the one I have fought in Mount Gelmir is horrible. Firstly, it casts spells whenever you want to go out to heal, so you have to go all the way behind one of the houses. Secondly, it has a bunch of annoying sorcerers around it. And there's also a couple demi-humans, if I'm remembering correctly. So not only do you have to dodge the magic and the normal attacks from the demi-human queen, you also have to dodge the spells from the sorcerers, and you also have to dodge the demi-humans. Sure, you can kill those, but that's also pretty hard to do with the demi-human queen there. It's not my favorite. Draconic Tree Sentinel D. Hate that boss. I keep opening that. Draconic Tree Sentinel. Not, I'll give it a C just because on subsequent playthroughs it's not the worst boss ever. Especially with the Mimic. It's just so annoying. Not only did they reuse Tree Sentinel so much, which just puts a bad taste in my mouth for the Tree Sentinel by the end of the game. Not only did they reuse Draconic Tree Sentinel so much, or normal Tree Sentinel so much, but they also decided they had to put in an even stronger one of him that you have to fight to be able to get into the capital. You either have to fight him, or you have to do a pretty good amount of Fia's quest to get into the capital. So it's quite annoying. Dragonkin Soldier of Noxtella. I give it a B because the arena looks so good. And also the fight isn't too bad. I like the fight. Normal Dragonkin Soldier I'll put a tier below it. Dragonkin Soldier of Noxtella I put in B because his second phase is cool and his arena is very good. But normal Dragonkin Soldier is just okay. Dragon Lord Placidusax. I haven't beat this boss, but I have fought it. A tier. It's such a good boss. I love that boss. Not as much as... It's not S tier material for me. That's like Astel and the ones I think that are as good or better. But Dragon Lord Placidusax is close. Very close to S tier. That's like a very high A tier. Elden Beast is S tier. I see a lot of people that don't like the boss, but it is possibly my favorite boss in the game. I love the visuals of it, and I also... The actual boss is great. The reveal of it in the cutscene after you kill Radagon is cool. The arena is amazing. Sure, you have to chase it around a lot, but that's why I always use a strength. A very high damaging strength weapon for it, which I usually just use the same weapon I always use, which is the dual greatswords you get from fighting Radon, the Star Scourge greatswords. Those ones are my favorite weapon in the game, and they're very good for Elden Beast because you deal lots of damage. And you also... so you deal lots of damage. So you don't have to chase it around as much because you get its health bar down so fast. So much faster than most other stuff, at least. Elder Dragon Grail, haven't fought that. Elamar of the Briar, I give it a B tier. This, nah... Yeah, B tier. I would say he's better than any of the dungeon bosses, so I'm not going to put him in C. C is for dungeon bosses or reused bosses like Dragonkin Soldier, and at least for me, I count Dragonkin Soldier of Noxtella as the original Dragonkin Soldier, and the other ones as reuses. Yeah, he's better than... C for me is mainly for dungeon bosses, reuse bosses, or just bosses I didn't find particularly fun, but I didn't dislike. And Elamar of the Briar is above that. He's cool. Also, his attack where he, like, uses, he throws his sword at you while it's spinning. That's a cool attack. Erdtree Avatar, B, actually. I was going to put in a C because of how much it's reused, but I actually like the gameplay against them. Like, their attacks are not too hard to dodge, but they're a pretty fun boss for me to fight. Erdtree Barrier Watchdog, C. There are some dungeon bosses I like, but most go in C. Most are just okay, but not the worst. Or not the worst bosses, but not the best. They're never the best or the worst. Esgar, Priest of Blood. Haven't fought that. No, come on, there. Falling Star Beast. B tier because the full grown one. I was gonna put him in A tier, but then I remember there's the full grown one, which I like better. Fell Twins. What were those? I haven't fought those. Fuse Champion, haven't fought. Fire Giant. A tier. I like the boss. The arena I like because there's the Forge of the Giants in the background, which is cool. The boss I like, which not many people seem to as well. I just like the boss. The attacks are cool. In my opinion, not the hardest to dodge, and also, sure he's tanky, but the Star Scourge Great, the Star Scourge Great Swords are great for him. If you like jump up, if you do a jump attack on his ankle that's raw, once you like break off the chain thing around one of his ankles, if you do a jump attack on that, you do like over 2,000 damage per hit. So it's extremely good. So if you chain together a couple of those, you can easily get to 4,000 to 8,000 damage before he rolls away or attacks you. It's very good for that fight, which is why I like it much more, because he's not as tanky if you use that. Flying Dragon Egg heal. I'm pretty sure he's the one at the lake, so I'm going to give him a B tier. B tier. I was going to give him an A tier for introduction, but to be honest, that is what brings it up to B tier. Most other dragons would be like C tier or D tier for the ones I really hate. But yeah, he's the coolest one in the game, in my opinion, because of his introduction. You're just wandering around the lake normally, and then a dragon flies down on top of you. It's so cool. Flying Dragon Grail. Haven't fought. I don't remember who Flying Dragon. He might be the one on the bridge in Dragon Brick or whatever, near the character that you feed the death root to, but I'm not sure, and I'm not gonna put him in a tier on it by assumption. So I'm just gonna put him in haven't fought. Frenzied Duelist, I haven't fought this. Sounds like an annoying boss though, because Frenzy's pretty annoying. Full Grown Falling Star Beast. A. I was gonna put in an S, but he's not up to the. He's not Elden Beast and Asta level. A tier because I don't know. The boss fight is cool. The boss arena is cool. By the way, for the rankings, I'm not just taking into consideration the boss. I'm not taking into consideration the arena. I'm taking in all of it, like the boss, the arena, the music for the boss, the gameplay of the boss's attacks. Are they annoying to dodge? Are they not annoying to dodge? A bunch of things. I'm not just taking into account like just the basic gameplay of the boss or the boss. This boss looks cool. The arena is very cool. How it's like way high up and there's like a big crater in the ground around it, which brings some cool lore around it. Which I'm pretty sure, I don't know the exact lore, but I've heard that he might be like, he might have like fallen down with a star, or he was a star, or he was like a beast from a star. I'm not completely sure what the lore of that boss is, but it's cool either way. Glintstone Dragon Adula, that's the, I don't know that one. Smerag is the one you fight in, by the one that's guarding the Glintstone key. And I'll actually put him up with Flying Dragon Egg Heal. I said most dragons would be in C or D, but I actually like this one about as much as Egg Heal. Most other dragons would be below that though, but I actually like the Glintstone one. Goad for F. Not gonna say anymore, other than the fact that I hate that it's a reuse. Not only is it a reuse of one of the main story bosses, but also it's a reuse of one of my favorite bosses. And I hate that they reused Godric. I hate that boss so much. Least favorite boss in the game for me. No, actually, scratch that. Not my least favorite. I'm still gonna put an F, but it's not my least favorite. My least favorite will be later. Godfrey, first Elden Lord. A tier. Well, is it A tier? S tier. First of all, the cutscenes for that fight are amazing, especially the one going into phase 2. Like, his cutscenes are so good. The music for the fight is great as well. The boss arena is great. Like, it's right before the Erd Tree. The character is also very important to the story, so it makes the fight feel much more important to the actual game. The gameplay of the fight I like as well. Well, the first phase gameplay I like. Actually, yeah, I'm bringing it down to A tier. Because I remember there's the second phase, which I don't like. He has so many grab attacks. He rushes you all the time, so you, like, don't have much time to heal. First phase is S tier. Second phase is more of an A to B tier. So I'm gonna put it in A tier to middle it out. Godfrey, first Elden Lord Shade. B tier. It's just the basically just the first phase without some of the AoE attacks and without the second phase. It's not bad, but I prefer the actual fight. Godric the Grafted, S tier. Possibly my favorite boss in the game. First of all, the gameplay of the fight, in my opinion, is one of the best fights in the game, just for the gameplay alone. The cutscenes for the fight are amazing. Some of the best in the game, if not the best. The voicing for the character is so good, especially in the cutscene between phase 1 and 2. Like when he grafts the dragon head to his arm. Not only is the cutscene great, but also his voice acting is some of the best in the game. And also the music for the fight is probably my favorite in the game. Godskin Apostle. Not a bad fight. B tier. What's in B tier? Yeah. He's B tier. He's definitely B tier. He's not a bad boss, but he's not my favorite boss either. Oh, yes, the Godskin duo. Where shall I start with them? I'll start by placing them in the F tier. By far my least favorite fight in the game, and I will give an exact reason. First of all, sort of this isn't the reason why I hate them, but this is another reason to put them in F tier. Or at least another thing that drives them slightly lower, is they're basically a crappy remake of Ornstein and Smo from Dark Souls 1, which is my favorite boss in the game of my favorite boss in Dark Souls 1 is Ornstein and Smo. And because they're in a very similar arena with a bunch of pillars. There's a big one and a smaller one. Well, not a smaller one, a more average-sized one. That's not even nearly why I hate them. If they were just a reuse of Ornstein and Samo, they could still be high in the tier list. I hate it because, firstly, they are two normal bosses put together. Two normal bosses that do perfectly well on their own put together. To make an insanely, absurdly difficult boss. They should not have been put together. Also the fact that they both have their phase 2s, which, in my opinion, only work when they are solo. Specifically the rolling of the Godskin Noble. But also the fact that when you kill both of them, if you kill both of them, that's not even the end of the fight. They respawn. You have to kill each of them, like, a couple times it's so annoying. I hate that fight. I could go on forever about how I hate the Godskin duo. Godskin Noble C. I don't like that boss much. Golem Archer. C. He's not very memorable. Grafted Scion. Giving that a B. It's a good introduction to the game. And also it's a nice skill test. Like if you're able to kill the boss, it's like a nice skill test to see if you're able to kill the boss. One thing I don't like about it is that it was reused so much. I mean, it's a cool boss, but it's just reused quite a bit. Not nearly as much as like Erdtree Avatar or something, but it's reused a good amount. Graveborn Duelist I haven't fought. Great Worm Theodorix. I don't even know what that boss is. Guardian Golem. What is that boss? Wait, I have to look that up. What is the Guardian Golem? Guardian Golem found in the Hyro Cave at the far north side of Limgrave. What? Boss in Elden Ring. Oh, that boss. I completely forgot that boss. That boss gets a C. I forgot about that boss. That shows how much attention I pay to it and how much I care about the boss. I forgot about it. Kindred of I haven't fought. Oh, Leonine Misbegotten. Oh. C. Lick Dragon Fortisax. Have not fought. Loretta Knight of the Haligtree. This one I give a B tier. It's not a bad fight. I like it, actually. I like it more than the Loretta Royal Knight or whatever in the Carrion Manor. It's not a bad fight overall. Mad Pumpkinhead gets a D. He's just so forgettable. The fact that he's used so much as a regular enemy just makes the actual boss version of it so forgettable. And the only reason to fight him really is to get to Selen. Magmorm gets a B. I like the fight. It's reused a bunch, but I don't mind it. This is one of the few bosses I don't mind if it's reused. It's not a bad fight, in my opinion. Malekith the Black Blade. A tier. I like the fight. It's cool. It's a lot of people's like favorite fight, or one of the favorites of a lot of people, and I would say it's one of mine. It's extremely hard though. I'm on New Game Plus 4 right now, and he's insane. Like I'm at 60 vigor, and I have over 2,000 health, because I even have some of the like health talismans on. I have like 2,100 health or something like that, and he like 2 or 3 shots me. He's insane. But he's a good boss. Melania, Goddess of Rot. I've fought her, but I haven't gotten past phase 1. But... oh, no. What? Okay. There. Actually, I clicked the back button. I've fought her. She's a fun boss. S tier. Just out of respect for how difficult the fight is. It is such, probably the most difficult fight in Souls games. All around. Margit the Fellowman. Going right up to S. One of my favorite characters in the game, and one of my favorite boss fights. Any boss fight with Margit or Morgott, the later version of him, any fight with him, I will take. Any fight with him, I like. Such a good fight in my opinion. The moveset is great. Like, and it's also, I just love the fight. Everything about it. Everything about the fight. The gameplay, the cutscene, the voice acting is very good. Mimic tier. Oh, D. Not because I dislike the boss. I love the idea. It's just way too easy. You can so easily cheese that fight. Just take off all your armor, take off all your weapons, go in, put on weapons when you get in, and then destroy the boss. It's a good fight, a good idea, but it's just way too easy. I haven't fought the boss version of it, but I've fought a bunch of the, like, normal versions of it. So I feel like that's enough to have fought it. F. It's basically like the Mad Pumpkinhead, where it's forgettable because of how much it's used as a normal boss. Or a normal enemy, but it's worse. It's worse because of how much you have to wait for it. Like, if you don't want to get poison, then you have to wait outside the poison. Once it starts doing the big attack with all the, like, white lights pouring down or whatever they are. Like, with all of the, like, white things going down from the sky. You have to wait for that, so that, far away from Miranda, to wait for that. So that that doesn't hit you when you go in to hit Miranda. Miranda has a normal hit attack that you have to get out of the way for. Just so much that you have to wait for. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Moog. I've heard Mog. Or Mo. Mog. I don't know. I've heard a bunch of different pronunciations, but S tier. I love the boss. So good. The arena is amazing. Amazing. The reveal is cool and stuff. Moog the Omen gets a C. It's just a basic reuse of his first phase, and it's not that great. Plus, I hate the area it's in. I hate how you have to get down to the area. It's so confusing, and I hate the area after the platforming puzzle. Sure, that's not part of the boss, but I just hate the area he's in as well. Morgot the Omen King. Straight up to S with Margit. I like it even more than the Margit fight, actually. One of my favorite bosses in the game, if not my favorite. I definitely like him more than Godric, which is a lot to say because Godric is like top 3 favorite bosses. Haven't fought Necromancer Garrus. Knights Cavalry I have fought, but I haven't beat. And I've more just grazed by him, just dealing a couple hits. I'm just gonna put him in haven't fought. Haven't fought Omen Killer. I actually fought him for the first time yesterday. On New Game Plus 4. No, not New Game Plus 4. I'm currently doing a no vigor upgrades run where I start as a wretch and upgrade everything but vigor. I can get armor and weapons and new weapons and stuff in the fight. I'm just not gonna upgrade vigor, just for a nice challenge run. Omen Killer is okay, kind of forgettable, and I just hate that he has a bunch of enemies around him. Onyx Lord, I haven't fought that. Patches, yes, A tier. Not even for the boss fight. The boss fight's easy, but just the character, just the character is what gets it to A tier. Not putting in an S because the fact that it's Patches isn't going to get it to S, but the fact that it's Patches gets it to A. And just the way that you get him down to half health and then he just, like, pleads with you because he realizes that's a fight that he's not going to win. Great fight. Perfumer Trisha and Leonine Misbegotten. I haven't fought, but it sounds like a trash fight because any duo fight with Leonine Misbegotten is trash out of the ones I have fought. Putrid Avatar gets the same level as Erdtree Avatar. It's basically the same fight. Because even his jump attack, everyone thinks that you have to just run away for that. But if you roll to the left and behind him, right when he does that, like right when he's about to land, if you roll to his left and behind him, none of the Scarlet Rot will get you. So, it's basically the same fight. Putrid Grave Warden Duelist. I haven't fought that. Putrid Tree Spear. I haven't fought that. Radagon of the Golden Order. S tier. Any of the final boss, whether it's Elden Beast or Radagon, gets an S tier from me. It's a great fight. the music of the fight, the fact that it's like a slightly remixed but better version of the menu music is so good. Uh, the gameplay of the fight is legendary in my opinion. Not as good as Elden Beast, but it's so good. And just the build up to the fight through the whole game, you go through the whole game to fight them two is great. They're definitely like final boss material for me. Red Wolf of Radagon gets an A. I used to hate the boss, but now that I've fought it more, it's not as extremely hard as I used to think it was. Regal Ancestor Spirit gets A tier. Same as Ancestor Spirit, same reasons. Renala gets an A. No, yes, A. I was gonna give her an S, but just the arena in the second one fits an A tier, but the rest of the fight is also great. At least phase 2. Phase 1's pretty basic. You just kill the glowing ones and then just hit Renala a bunch when she falls from the golden bubble. Royal Knight Loretta. Royal Knight Loretta. Where did I place the other Royal Knight? I'll put her in the same tier. I like Loretta Knight of the Halig Tree more, but Royal Knight Loretta isn't bad either. Royal Revenant, haven't fought. Rune Bear, have fought, and he gets a C tier. He's not bad, but it's just how much he's reused as a normal enemy, and the fight isn't my favorite either. Rykard, S tier. In fact, I only fought him on New Game Plus 3. That's the only time I've ever fought him. Because I kept forgetting to fight him through all the other New Game. And a New Game I forgot to fight him. And then New Game Plus 1 and 2 I forgot to fight him. So I fought him in New Game Plus 3. And he's such a good boss. Sanguine Noble. I haven't fought Sanguine Noble. Scale Misbegotten. Haven't fought. I just don't think it's worth it. I don't like the normal enemies as bosses. Sir Gideon Ofnir, the All-Knowing. Such a cool boss fight. But the thing is, well, what the thing used to be, you used to just be able to easily kill him as he was doing his monologue. And that made the fight extremely easy. But now they made it, I tried it on New Game Plus 3. I tried killing him during the monologue because I had never tried that before because I just wanted to actually do the fight because I liked the idea of it where whatever bosses you kill, he gets the spells and, like, attacks of. I tried killing him during his monologue of New Game Plus 3 just to see if he could do it, but no, now he keeps doing the monologue while actually fighting you. So now I'm going to give the fight an A tier. Because it's very cool that he uses the... It's not the hardest fight in the game or anything, by far. But he uses... It's so cool that he uses the magic of the bosses you've beaten. So it's kind of like the more bosses you beat, the harder he actually gets to fight. Soldier of Godric, hardest fight in the game. By far the hardest fight in the game. Like, it took me so many tries to beat this guy. No, just kidding. He gets D tier. Nah, not D tier, because I don't really care about the boss, but I didn't hate him, so I'm not going to put him in F tier. Oh, come on. I keep pressing the back. Oh, what is happening? Okay. Yeah, I don't hate him, but I don't care for him. He's just a normal enemy boss, just for the tutorial. Spirit Collar Snail, I actually fought this one yesterday as well. C tier, yeah, C tier. It's not a bad idea for a boss, but it's not very hard either, because you just run from the summon and look for the glowing light around the arena. Star Scourgeodon, instant to the top. My favorite fight in this game, and my favorite fight in any Souls game I've ever played. The spectacle of it is amazing. The size of the arena is so cool. The actual fight is great. the cutscene before the fight is by far the best cutscene in the game, better than anything from Morga or Godric. The transition into phase 2 where he jumps off and you're looking all around for him and you can't find him, and then he comes down as a meteor, is so cool. It is such an insanely cool boss fight. Stone Digger Troll, see, basic enemy is a boss. Tibia Mariner. Well, he's an easy boss. Kind of similar to Pinwheel. No, he's not similar to Pinwheel. There's easier bosses in this game, but he's close to being the Pinwheel of this game. And just how much he's overused. Sure, you need him. He needs to be overused for the death route, but I feel like they could have also just done other, like, bosses who live in death for other death routes. But I also understand that there's, like, limitations. They can't do, like, so many bosses, and it's already great that they've done so many bosses in the game. Can't do infinite bosses. Tree Sentinel gets a D. The original Tree Sentinel isn't bad, but they overused him so much, and I don't like it. Ultra Tree Spirit actually gets a B. Yeah, B. It's a cool boss. I like it more than a C tier. I like it more than any of the C tier bosses. Valiant Gargoyles get a C as well. Nah, B. It's a duo fight, which I don't usually like, but they're not the worst in the game. Wormface gets a D. I hate that he has Deathblight. This is the final boss of the tier list. I hate that he has Deathblight. And that he has that grab attack. It's annoying. And I've only ever fought him in one playthrough. I don't think it's ever worth it to fight him more than one playthrough. At least not for me. It's not worth it. It's just not that fun of a boss. It has Death Blight, which if you stand in it, if you just get too like greedy with an attack, you can easily die. It's not a great boss. Well, that's all I have to say for the Wormface, and that's all I have to say for the whole tier list. Here's my whole tier list. The S is these bosses, A, B, C, D, E, F. And I haven't fought these ones, which isn't a crazy amount of bosses in the game to have not fought. I've fought a good, large chunk of them. Yeah, I just thought I would do a tier list today. I haven't made a video in a while. So I thought I would do a tier list of probably my favorite game ever made for my first video in a while. Probably gonna make more videos soon. Probably gonna do a ranking video of all the bosses ranked by difficulty, which will be a fun one. I'm gonna rank all these bosses by difficulty, all the ones I have fought, or maybe I'll have fought more by then. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you stayed till the end, thanks for watching through the whole video, and bye.